There is a reason your body feels what it feels. A reason certain pains return, certain emotions repeat, and certain wounds never seem to fully close. For centuries, this knowledge was hidden inside ancient teachings, passed quietly from master to student, never meant for the noise of the modern world. But one manuscript spoke openly about the invisible blockages inside the human body, the emotional codes stored in the cells, and the silent language of the soul. What it reveals is unsettling, because it suggests that many of the answers were never outside of you. They were within you all along. And by the end of this video, you may never look at your body, your emotions, or your life the same way again. So before we open this manuscript together, subscribe to the channel. Because what you're about to hear is not the kind of knowledge most channels are willing to share. The Lost Manuscript of Inner Healing: How to Free Your Body from Invisible Blockages. Prologue. The Hidden Wounds of the Soul. Beneath every smile hides a shadow. Beneath every strong body hides a whisper. These whispers are what the scroll calls the hidden wounds of the soul. They are not always visible, yet they shape our lives in silence. A pain in the chest, a knot in the stomach, a sudden illness that no doctor can fully explain. These are not random events, but the body speaking the language of the unseen. The Lost Manuscript tells us, the body never betrays, it only reveals. Illness, fatigue, emotional collapse, these are not punishments but messages, guiding us back to what has been suppressed, denied, or forgotten. From childhood, many are taught to silence their truth. We are told not to cry, not to show anger, not to be weak. We swallow grief, bury rage, numb fear. But emotions do not vanish when ignored. They take residence in the body, crystallizing into blockages. The heart holds heartbreak until it hardens. The throat holds unspoken words until it closes. The muscles carry unexpressed tension until they ache. These are the invisible prisons of the soul, built not of iron, but of silence. And so the body becomes both guardian and messenger, carrying our deepest truths until we are ready to listen. The hidden manuscript reveals that much of what we call illness is simply unresolved energy. Trauma, heartbreak, betrayal, fear. They embed themselves in cells like forgotten codes. Modern science calls it psychosomatic illness or epigenetic memory. Ancient traditions called it karma, energetic imprint, or soul wound. Whatever the name, the truth remains. Pain carries memory, and memory unexpressed becomes disease. To heal is not merely to cure symptoms, it is to unearth the hidden wound and allow it to breathe. Imagine a woman who carries deep grief for years. She never cries, never speaks of her loss. Over time, her lungs weaken, her breath shortens, illness emerges. Doctors treat the body, but the root lies deeper. The unexpressed grief trapped in her chest. Or a man who swallows his anger daily, smiling while burning inside. His liver grows heavy, his blood thick with resentment. Medicine may manage symptoms, but true healing will not come until the wound is acknowledged, until the anger is given voice, until forgiveness opens the prison door. The manuscript also tells of ancestral wounds, pain carried across generations. Families that endured war, famine, or abuse often pass invisible blockages to descendants. A child may fear scarcity though never having lacked, or carry shame with no clear source. These are not personal failures, but inherited imprints. Healing them does not only liberate the individual, but frees the lineage, breaking chains that bound ancestors for centuries. This is why healing is sacred work. It ripples beyond one life into many. But what, then, is healing? Healing is not about adding something foreign, but about removing what never belonged, the shame, the fear, the silence. The prologue prepares you for a journey. You will not only learn about the silent language of the body, but you will discover practices to free its voice. You will uncover how emotions, traumas, and memories hide within, and how breath, gratitude, forgiveness, and awareness can release them. The scroll whispers, "Healing is not fixing what is broken, it is revealing what was always whole. Your body is not your enemy, and your soul is not weak. You are not cursed, nor are you unworthy. The blockages you carry are invitations, doorways into transformation. To heal is to listen, to honor, to allow the hidden wound to speak until it is seen, and in being seen, dissolve. You will be guided into ancient maps of energy, modern insights of science, and symbolic rituals of renewal. This is not theory, it is remembrance. For the healer is not outside of you, it is within, waiting to awaken. Beloved seeker, know this. You are not broken, you are not lost, and you are not beyond healing. The hidden wounds of your soul are not there to destroy you, but to guide you. They are not chains, but keys, leading you to deeper freedom. As you walk through this manuscript, remember the blessing it carries. The wound is not the end, it is the beginning. Within it lies the medicine. Within you lies the healer. Chapter 1. The silent language of the body. The body speaks, though few have learned to listen. Its language is not words, but sensations, not sentences, but signals. A headache at dawn, a heaviness in the chest, a stomach that twists with no clear cause. These are not random inconveniences, but whispers from within. This is the mystery of the silent language of the body. The lost manuscript teaches, every symptom is a syllable, every pain a phrase, every illness a story longing to be told. To ignore the body's language is to silence the soul. To listen is to begin the journey of healing. From the moment you were born, your body has spoken. As an infant, hunger was expressed in cries, discomfort in restlessness, joy in laughter. But as you grew, society taught you to mistrust your own signals. Don't cry. It's nothing. Ignore the pain. Keep going. Be strong. Don't show weakness. Slowly, you learn to disconnect from the wisdom of your body, to silence its voice with pills, distractions, or denial. Yet the body does not stop speaking. If ignored in whispers, it will shout in screams, disease, collapse, crisis. The body is patient, but it will not be silenced forever. The manuscript reveals that every organ, every system, carries symbolic meaning. The heart does more than pump blood. It expresses love, courage, joy. When blocked, it speaks through palpitations, pressure, pain. The stomach digests more than food. It digests experience. When overwhelmed, it speaks through nausea, ulcers, knots. The throat carries unspoken words and truth. When silenced, it manifests as tightness, cough, loss of voice. These are not coincidences. They are metaphors written in flesh. The body is the canvas where the soul paints its hidden emotions. Consider Eleanor, who suffered chronic migraines. No doctor could explain them fully. Through deep reflection, she realized each attack came after denying her intuition, after silencing her inner truth to please others. Her migraines were not random, they were her soul's protest against self-betrayal. When she began honoring her intuition, the pain dissolved. Or take David, who lived with constant stomach issues. He later saw they flared during times of unprocessed grief. His body was literally refusing to digest the pain he had swallowed. Once he began grieving openly, his stomach calmed. Science now affirms what the ancients always knew. The mind and body are inseparable. Neuroscience shows how thoughts trigger chemical cascades, shifting hormones and immune responses. Chronic stress weakens immunity, while joy strengthens it. Trauma embeds itself in the nervous system, replaying through muscle tension and cellular memory. The body remembers what the mind forgets. Healing, then, is not just medical, it is relational. It is about restoring conversation between soul and body, mind and flesh. The manuscript offers practices for listening to the body's silent language. Practice 1. Body scan of awareness. Each night, close your eyes and breathe deeply. Scan from head to toe, noticing tension, pain, or sensation. Ask gently, "What are you trying to tell me?" Write down what comes. Practice 2. Symptom journaling. Keep a journal where you record symptoms and emotions side by side. Over time, patterns emerge. Anger with headaches, sadness with chest pain, fear with insomnia. These links reveal the hidden words of your body. Practice 3. The pause. Before silencing discomfort with medication, pause for a moment. Place your hand over the affected area and whisper, "I am listening." Often, acknowledgement itself softens the pain. Beloved seeker, your body is not a traitor, it is your most loyal messenger. It carries not only your soul, but also your truth. Every symptom is a gift, every pain an invitation. When you listen, you begin to heal, for the body no longer needs to scream when the heart is finally heard. The scroll whispers, "The body does not lie. Its silence is not absence, but message. Learn to read it, and you will discover the map of your healing." Chapter 2. The origins of invisible blockages. Invisible chains bind the body and soul, not made of iron but of memory. These are what the manuscript calls the origins of invisible blockages. They are not seen with the eyes, yet they shape how energy flows, how the body feels, and how the soul expresses itself. The scroll teaches what is not expressed becomes imprisoned, and what is imprisoned becomes illness. To understand healing, we must trace these blockages back to their roots: trauma, unresolved emotions, ancestral inheritance, and societal conditioning. Trauma is the first root. It may come as a sudden shock, a loss, an accident, an act of violence, or as years of subtle wounds, neglect, or rejection. Each trauma leaves an imprint, a memory not only in the mind but in the body. The nervous system locks into survival, muscles tighten, breath shortens. Over time, if unprocessed, these reactions crystallize into invisible blockages. A woman abandoned in childhood may carry fear in her chest for decades. A soldier scarred by war may hold tension in his back long after the battlefield. The trauma becomes a silent tenant, inhabiting organs and cells. Unresolved emotions are the second root. Anger swallowed becomes fire in the liver. Grief unexpressed becomes weight in the lungs. Shame buried becomes knots in the stomach. Emotions are energy in motion. When denied, they stagnate, blocking the natural flow of vitality. Society often teaches us to suppress. Don't cry, don't be angry, don't be afraid. But suppression does not erase, it buries. These buried emotions, left unseen, grow into blockages, draining health and joy. The body pays the price for the silence of the soul. Ancestral memory is the third root. Pain is not only personal, it is generational. Families who endured war, famine, abuse, or poverty often pass down invisible scars. A child may fear scarcity though always provided for. Another may feel shame with no clear source. These are echoes of the past, vibrations carried in DNA, imprints whispered through bloodlines. Modern science calls it epigenetics. The ancients called it ancestral curses. Whatever the name, the truth is clear. We carry more than our own wounds. We carry the unhealed wounds of those before us. To heal them is sacred work, freeing not only ourselves but generations past and future. The final root is societal conditioning. From birth, we are told who to be, what to feel, what is acceptable. Success is measured by wealth, beauty by appearance, worth by productivity. These messages carve blockages, teaching us to abandon authenticity for approval. A child who learns that love must be earned grows into an adult who carries unworthiness in every cell. A woman told to stay quiet holds her voice in her throat until it aches. A man told to be strong hides his tears until his heart hardens. These blockages are not natural. They are cultural prisons disguised as normal. The manuscript offers practices to uncover these roots. Practice 1. Tracing the trigger. When a symptom arises, ask, when did this begin? What memory or emotion is tied to it? Often, the body points to an old wound waiting to be seen. Practice 2. Ancestral dialogue. Sit in meditation, imagine your ancestors behind you, and speak. I honor your pain, but I release it. I choose freedom, visualize chains dissolving into light. Practice 3. The permission ritual. Write down an emotion you were forbidden to express, anger, grief, joy. Then give yourself full permission to feel it safely through writing, movement, or voice. This breaks the prison of suppression. Beloved seeker, invisible blockages are not destiny, they are invitations. To see them is to loosen them. To honor them is to dissolve them. You are not broken. You are burdened by stories that were never yours to carry. The scroll whispers, when you heal your ancestors. When you release, you free generations unborn. Invisible chains dissolve in the light of awareness. Chapter 3. The energy architecture of the body. Beneath the skin, beneath the blood and bones, lies an architecture more subtle yet more powerful. The energy blueprint of the body. The manuscript calls this sacred map the energy architecture of the body. It is the hidden design through which life force flows, connecting spirit and matter, thought and flesh, soul and cell. The scroll teaches, you are not only muscle and bone, you are current and light. To heal, you must restore the flow of your rivers unseen. Ancient traditions saw what modern science is only beginning to glimpse, that the body is not just physical, but vibrational. The Hindus spoke of chakras, 7 spinning wheels of energy that regulate emotions and organs. The Chinese mapped meridians, channels through which qi, life force, circulates like rivers of light. Indigenous shamans spoke of luminous fields surrounding the body, carrying both wounds and wisdom. Though described differently, each points to the same truth. Health is harmony of energy, and illness is its stagnation. The chakras are gateways between the soul and the body. When open, they allow life force to flow. When blocked, they create imbalance. The root chakra grounds survival. When blocked, fear and instability arise. The heart chakra opens love. When closed, loneliness and grief settle. The throat chakra expresses truth. When silenced, voice and creativity falter. These centers are not metaphors. They are energy hubs that influence hormones, immunity and emotional well-being. To heal them is to restore harmony at the deepest level. The meridians, too, carry the silent rivers of vitality. In acupuncture, when needles stimulate specific points, they release blockages and allow energy to flow. A headache may not be a brain problem, but a blockage in the liver meridian. Digestive issues may not begin in the stomach, but in the spleen channel. Energy medicine shows that health is not isolated organs, but interconnected currents. Where energy flows freely, the body thrives. Where it stagnates, symptoms appear. Modern science now begins to echo these ancient truths. The human body generates an electromagnetic field, measurable by instruments. The heart produces the strongest field, radiating far beyond the chest. Brain waves shift not only thoughts but the body's chemistry. Even DNA emits photons of light, communicating within and beyond the body. This is why meditation, breathwork and prayer change not just mood, but measurable biology. They shift energy architecture. Stories illustrate this mystery. Maya, who carried grief for years, felt constant tightness in her chest. Doctors found no clear cause. When she worked with breath and heart chakra meditation, the tightness released. Her grief had been blocking her energy field. Or Arjun, who lived with chronic fatigue, found relief not in medicine but in acupuncture, which restored circulation in his meridians. Once his energy flowed, vitality returned. The manuscript offers practices to align your architecture. Practice 1. Chakra breathing. Sit in silence. Visualize breathing into each chakra, from root to crown, filling it with light. Whisper, I open, I flow, I shine. Practice 2. Meridian movement. Stretch, twist, or practice gentle yoga, focusing on releasing stiffness where energy feels stuck. Imagine rivers of light flowing through each limb. Practice 3. Luminous field cleansing. Imagine a golden shower of light descending from above, washing through and around you, clearing your field of stagnant energies. Beloved seeker, your body is not a machine, it is a temple of light. To heal is not only to treat organs, but to restore currents, rivers, and flames. You are wired for wholeness, and when energy flows, health follows naturally. The scroll whispers, you are more than flesh, you are fire, river, light. Heal the current, and the body will remember its song. Chapter 4. The prison of emotional suppression. Inside every unspoken word, inside every tear swallowed back, lies a weight the body never forgets. This is what the manuscript calls the prison of emotional suppression. It is not built of walls or bars, but of silences, masks, and self-denial. The scroll teaches, what the mouth refuses to say, the body will one day scream. Anger not expressed becomes tension. Grief not cried becomes heaviness. Fear ignored becomes paralysis. When emotions are denied their natural flow, they do not disappear. They become prisoners inside the body, waiting for release. From the moment we are children, we are taught to suppress. Boys don't cry. Good girls don't get angry. Be strong. Don't show weakness. These commands bury truth, but truth does not die. It hides. Every time a child is told not to feel, they push their emotions deeper, where they turn into shadows lodged in muscles, tissues, and cells. Over years, the prison grows tighter until illness, depression, or exhaustion break the silence. Emotional suppression is not control. It is a cage, and the prisoner is both the emotion and the soul. Science confirms what sages always knew. Emotions are not abstract, they are biochemical. Anger releases adrenaline and tightens muscles. Sadness slows breath and weakens immunity. Joy boosts serotonin and strengthens the heart. When emotions flow, they cleanse the body. But when suppressed, the chemicals linger, the tension accumulates, the nervous system locks into survival. The prison is not metaphorical, it is measurable. To free emotions is not indulgence, it is medicine. Examples reveal this clearly. Clara lost her husband, but never allowed herself to grieve, believing she had to be strong for her children. She carried on, smiling, but her lungs grew weak, her chest heavy. Years later, she developed chronic respiratory illness. Her body had been holding the tears her eyes refused to shed. Or Michael, raised to never express anger, always polite, always agreeable. Yet his liver carried tension, his blood pressure rose, his health collapsed. When he finally began therapy, expressing rage safely, his health improved. The prison doors had opened. Each emotion carries wisdom. Anger signals violated boundaries. Grief honors what was loved. Fear protects. Joy expands. Suppression silences not only pain, but wisdom. By denying emotion, we deny part of ourselves. The scroll whispers, to repress emotion is to repress life itself. Healing requires not erasing emotions, but letting them breathe, move, and complete their cycle. The manuscript offers practices of liberation. Practice 1. Safe expression. Find a private space. Allow yourself to cry, scream into a pillow, or write uncensored words. Let the body speak what the mouth has silenced. Practice 2. Emotional mapping. Place your hand on different parts of your body and ask, what emotion lives here? Often, the body reveals suppressed feelings when invited to speak. Practice 3. Permission ritual. Write down one emotion you were never allowed to express. Then say aloud, I give myself permission to feel this fully and freely. Sit with it until it softens. Beloved seeker, emotional suppression is not strength, it is self-abandonment. To feel is not weakness, it is life itself moving through you. The prison dissolves the moment you choose honesty over silence, expression over repression. The scroll whispers, the body is not harmed by emotion expressed, but by emotion denied. Free what is imprisoned, and health will return like a river released. Chapter 5. The Science of Inner Healing. Healing has often been wrapped in mystery, spoken of in temples and whispered in prayers. Yet the manuscript reveals a truth modern science now confirms. The body is designed to heal itself. This is the mystery unveiled in the science of inner healing. The scroll teaches, the healer is not outside, it is coded within your cells. Every cut that closes, every bone that mends, every illness that reverses is proof of an inner intelligence, a hidden wisdom that science is only beginning to name. Healing is not magic, it is your birthright. At the heart of this truth lies neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself. For centuries, it was believed that neurons died and could not be replaced. Now science shows the opposite. Your thoughts, emotions, and habits literally shape the architecture of your brain. Trauma wires patterns of fear, gratitude wires patterns of resilience, meditation, prayer, visualization. They are not abstract acts, but physical rewiring of neural pathways. Each thought is a sculptor carving new roads. To change the mind is to change the body, for every neural signal shifts hormones, immunity, and even cellular health. Another key is the placebo effect, long dismissed as trickery, yet now recognized as one of the most powerful demonstrations of inner healing. A sugar pill can heal pain, not because of the pill, but because the mind believes. Belief itself triggers the brain to release endorphins, dopamine, and healing chemistry. The body obeys expectation. If belief can heal with a false pill, imagine what it can do with conscious, empowered faith. The scroll whispers, the medicine is not the pill, it is the belief the pill awakens. Science also shows the power of heart-brain coherence. When the heart beats in rhythm with peace, gratitude, and love, its electromagnetic field becomes coherent. This field influences the brain, immune system, and even DNA expression. Coherent heart rhythms strengthen immunity, balance hormones, and increase resilience. In moments of gratitude or meditation, measurable shifts occur in the body's chemistry. Ancient mystics called this prayer. Modern scientists call it coherence. Both are names for the same truth. Emotion aligned with spirit heals matter. Even at the deepest level, cells remember. Experiments show that trauma can alter gene expression, passing fear or resilience through generations. But just as trauma can imprint, so too can healing. Epigenetics reveals that lifestyle, belief, and emotion can switch genes on or off. You are not a prisoner of inherited illness. You are the author of genetic expression. By changing your inner world, you literally rewrite your biology. Stories prove this science. Maria, bedridden with chronic illness, began daily visualization of walking in health. At first, nothing changed, but after months, her nervous system shifted and her body followed. Today, she walks freely. Or Daniel, who healed from depression not only with therapy, but with gratitude journaling. His brain rewired, his hormones balanced, his life renewed. Their healers were not doctors, though medicine supported them. Their healers were within. The manuscript offers practices grounded in both spirit and science. Practice 1. Neural rewiring. Each morning, visualize yourself living in full health. Speak it aloud, I am whole. Each repetition builds neural highways of healing. Practice 2. Coherence, breath. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe slowly, imagining gratitude filling each inhale. This practice aligns heart and brain, creating measurable healing shifts. Practice 3. The belief anchor. Choose one healing affirmation. Repeat it daily until it feels as real as the illness once did. Your body will follow the frequency of your belief. Beloved seeker, healing is not a miracle reserved for the chosen few. It is the design of your being. Science only confirms what mystics always knew. The body is not separate from spirit, and belief is not weakness, but power. The scroll whispers, "The healer you seek is the one who looks through your eyes. Trust it, and the body will remember its original song." Chapter 6. Ancient Keys to Healing. Long before hospitals, long before microscopes, long before science gave names to cells and organs, humanity already knew how to heal. This wisdom, passed in whispers and rituals, is what the manuscript calls ancient keys to healing. These keys were not tools of control, but harmonies with nature, codes that aligned body and spirit with the greater order of the universe. The scroll teaches, what is old is not lost, the forgotten is not gone. The keys remain, waiting for hands that remember. The first key is breath. In every tradition, breath was seen as life itself. The Sanskrit word prana, the Chinese qi, the Hebrew ruach, all mean both breath and spirit. Breath carries not only oxygen but vibration, calming or exciting the nervous system, expanding or constricting energy. Shamans used breath to enter trance. Yogis used it to awaken energy. Healers used it to cleanse trauma. Modern science now confirms breath's power to regulate heart rate, immune response, and even DNA expression. The simple act of inhaling consciously is an ancient key always in reach. The second key is fasting and purification. In nearly every culture, fasting was a sacred act, not just of the body but of the soul. It was a way of emptying so that one could be filled with light. Indigenous tribes fasted before vision quests, monks fasted before prayer, healers fasted to sharpen intuition. Fasting releases toxins, resets the digestive system, and awakens cellular repair. But beyond biology, it clears the clutter of desire, teaching that true nourishment flows not only from food, but from spirit. The third key is sound and vibration. In temples, caves, and sacred groves, sound was medicine. The chanting of mantras, the beating of drums, the singing of bowls, all were tools to align the body's energy field. Ancient healers knew what cymatics now proves. Vibration shapes matter. A drum beat can regulate heart rhythms. A chant can harmonize brainwaves. A song can dissolve grief. The body is an instrument, and sound is the tuning fork that restores it to harmony. The fourth key is light and nature. Before artificial walls and screens, humans lived under sun and stars. Light was healer, guiding circadian rhythms, feeding the body with vitamin D, and filling the soul with clarity. Indigenous peoples bathed in moonlight, walked barefoot on earth, immersed themselves in rivers. Nature was not scenery but sanctuary. Modern studies confirm what the ancients knew. Time in nature lowers stress hormones, balances blood pressure, and awakens joy. Light and earth are medicines that never stopped working. The fifth key is ritual and prayer. Healing was never just physical, it was sacred. A wound was not only treated with herbs, but with blessings. A fever was not only cooled with water, but soothed with prayer. Ritual created meaning, turning pain into initiation, illness into transformation. Whether lighting a candle, chanting a name, or offering gratitude, ritual shifted vibration, aligning body and spirit with the source. The scroll whispers, "Medicine without meaning is incomplete. Meaning heals the soul, and the soul heals the body." Stories carry these truths. A tribe in the Amazon heals with Icaros, songs that call spirits of plants. A monastery heals with Gregorian chants, voices echoing in stone halls. A village heals with fasting and sweat lodges, purifying body and mind. Across cultures, the forms differ, but the essence is the same. Align with the rhythms of the universe, and healing flows naturally. The manuscript offers practices to reclaim ancient keys. Practice 1. Breath of renewal. Each morning, inhale deeply for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. This ancient pattern, found in many traditions, restores balance. Practice 2. Fasting of clarity. Once a week, skip 1 meal. Use the hunger not as deprivation, but as prayer, asking, "What truly nourishes me?" Practice 3. Song of healing. Choose a sound, a hum, chant, or mantra. Sing it until your body vibrates. Feel where the sound resonates and allow it to cleanse that space. Beloved seeker, the ancients were not ignorant. They were guardians of truth science now rediscovers. Healing does not require complexity. It requires remembrance. The scroll whispers, return to breath, to light, to sound, to silence, to prayer. In these, the ancient keys still shine, unlocking the body's eternal song. Chapter 7. Practices of Liberation. Healing is not theory, it is practice. To read wisdom is the beginning, but to embody it is liberation. This is the message of practices of liberation. The manuscript teaches, knowledge unopened is a locked door. Practice is the key that turns it. Invisible blockages cannot be dissolved by thought alone. They require movement, breath, expression, and ritual. Liberation is not a concept. It is an experience, one that must be lived daily until it becomes second nature, until freedom flows like breath itself. The first practice is journaling as release. The page is a sacred container where emotions too heavy to hold can be poured out. When you write without censorship, the unconscious speaks, and blockages rise to the surface. Studies show journaling lowers stress, strengthens immunity, and rewires trauma. More than therapy, it is exorcism, ink carrying away the weight of silence. To practice, take 10 minutes each day. Write what you fear, what you regret, what you long for. Do not judge, simply release. Then close the book, knowing the page has carried the burden. The second practice is breathwork as cleansing. Breath is not just air, but current, sweeping through the body, dissolving stagnant energy, certain rhythms, deep inhales, powerful exhales, rhythmic cycles, flush trauma from tissues, shaking loose what words cannot touch. Ancient yogis, shamans, and healers all used breath to expand consciousness and free the soul. Modern science shows breath regulates the vagus nerve, calming the nervous system and allowing healing. To practice, choose a rhythm. Inhale deeply, exhale fully, repeat for minutes. As breath deepens, blockages melt. The third practice is movement as liberation. Trauma lives in the body, and only through the body can it fully release. Dance, stretching, shaking, each frees energy trapped in muscles and fascia. Animals in the wild shake after fear. Humans suppress it. The body remembers what the mind forgets, and movement allows memory to leave. To practice, play music, let the body move without control. Do not dance to impress, dance to release. Each step, each sway, each tremor is a lock opening. The fourth practice is forgiveness as medicine. Resentment is poison stored in the heart. To forgive is not to excuse, but to free yourself from the chains of another's actions. Forgiveness heals more than spirit. It lowers stress, improves heart health, and restores vitality. To practice, close your eyes, bring to mind one who hurt you and say, I release you, I release myself, I choose freedom. The wound softens, the chain dissolves. The fifth practice is guided visualization for cellular release. The mind cannot distinguish vividly imagined experiences from real ones. By visualizing golden light sweeping through the body, cleansing every cell, you create a reality of healing. The body responds to this inner movie with relaxation, repair, and renewal. To practice, lie still, imagine a golden river flowing through you, washing away fear, shame, anger. See your cells glowing with new vitality. Repeat until your body believes. Stories show the power of practice. Anna, who lived with chronic grief, began journaling daily. Within weeks, her chest felt lighter, her sleep deeper. Her pen had carried away her sorrow. Or Marco, plagued by panic, discovered breathwork. In one session, decades of fear surfaced and released. His body trembled, his breath roared, and when it ended, calm entered where chaos once lived. Liberation is real, and practice is the door. Beloved seeker, do not leave this manuscript as words in your mind. Let it become rhythm in your breath, movement in your body, light in your cells. Healing is not tomorrow, it is now, in the page you write, the breath you take, the forgiveness you offer. The scroll whispers, freedom is not found, it is practiced. Each act of release is a key. Each key unlocks the temple. Each temple reveals you were free all along. Chapter 8. The Alchemy of Pain. Pain is often seen as enemy, as curse, as something to be silenced or avoided at all costs. Yet the manuscript reveals a deeper truth. Pain is not here to destroy you. It is here to transform you. This chapter is called The Alchemy of Pain, for it unveils how suffering, when embraced with awareness, becomes fuel for awakening. The scroll teaches, lead cannot become gold until it enters the fire. So too, the soul cannot reveal its strength until it passes through pain. Every wound carries two faces. One face is suffering, tears, fear, despair. The other face is transformation, wisdom, strength, compassion. Most live only with the first face, trapped in resistance. They numb with distractions, bury emotions, or fight reality. But resistance multiplies suffering. When pain is resisted, it festers. When pain is embraced, it reveals its gift. The alchemist does not ask, how can I escape this pain? But rather, what treasure hides within it? Science affirms this mystery. Studies on post-traumatic growth show that many who endure loss or trauma emerge not weaker but stronger, more grateful, more resilient, more compassionate. Neuroscience reveals that facing pain rewires the brain, forging new pathways of strength. Spiritual traditions all echo the same truth. Suffering can be initiation, breaking open the heart to deeper dimensions of love. Pain is not punishment, it is teacher. Consider Sophia, who lost everything in a fire. At first, despair consumed her, but through the ashes, she discovered simplicity, community, gratitude. What once seemed the end became the beginning of a life of depth. Or Daniel, who battled illness for years. His body weakened, but his soul expanded. He began teaching others about resilience, inspiring thousands. His illness had refined him into light. Both show that pain, when embraced, becomes alchemy. The manuscript offers ways to practice this transformation. Practice 1, naming the fire. Instead of denying pain, name it. Say aloud, I am in sorrow, I am in fear. Naming removes shame, turning chaos into clarity. Practice 2, asking the gift. Each time pain arises, ask, what is this here to teach me? Listen in silence. Often, the answer whispers from within. Practice 3, transforming through expression. Turn pain into art, song, movement, words. Expression transmutes raw suffering into beauty, carrying energy out of the body. Practice 4, gratitude in the fire. Whisper thanks even in darkness, not for the pain itself, but for the strength it is awakening. Gratitude turns wounds into wisdom. Beloved seeker, alchemy does not erase pain. It reveals its hidden light. To suffer is human, but to transform suffering is divine. Your wounds are not your end, they are your beginning. The scroll whispers, the fire that burns you is the same fire that refines you. Do not curse the flame, become the gold it forges. Chapter 9. The River of Renewal. Life is movement, and movement is healing. This is the wisdom of the river of renewal. Just as rivers carve valleys, nourish forests, and carry life wherever they flow, so too must your energy, emotions, and spirit remain in circulation. The manuscript teaches, stagnation is illness, flow is health. Renewal comes when you let go and allow life to move again. To heal is not to cling, but to release, not to dam, but to let the waters run free. The river of renewal flows through every aspect of your being. In the body, blood, lymph, and breath must circulate. When blocked, disease arises. In the soul, emotions must be felt and released. When repressed, they sour into bitterness and pain. In the mind, thoughts must flow, shifting into new perspectives. When rigid, they imprison you in old patterns. Healing comes when all levels, body, mind, and spirit, flow as one river, carrying away the debris of the past and making space for new life. Nature illustrates this perfectly. A river that is dammed grows stagnant, its waters murky, its life diminished, but when allowed to flow, it renews itself endlessly, never running dry. So it is with the soul. Trauma, fear, or attachment act as dams, blocking the current of life. You hold on to anger, and it hardens into stone. You cling to grief, and the waters darken. But when you release, through forgiveness, through breath, through surrender, the river clears. Renewal is not something you create. It is what happens when you stop resisting. Stories bring this truth alive. Elena, after years of holding resentment against her father, lived with chronic pain. Her anger was a dam, blocking love and health. Through forgiveness, she let the waters move again and her pain began to fade. Or Paulo, trapped in grief after losing his wife, felt life had ended. But slowly, through tears and rituals of release, he let the river carry his sorrow. Joy returned, not the same as before, but deeper, wiser, renewed. The manuscript offers practices to enter the river. Practice 1, ritual of letting go. Write on paper what you wish to release: fear, resentment, grief. Burn it, bury it, or cast it into water. Symbolic acts open real currents. Practice 2, flow movement. Move your body like water, sway, bend, stretch, dance freely. Imagine every movement flushing away stagnation, restoring vitality. Practice 3, breath of renewal. Inhale deeply, imagining fresh water entering. Exhale fully, imagining toxins, pain, or heaviness leaving. Repeat until your body feels cleansed. Practice 4, surrender meditation. Sit in silence. Visualize yourself floating in a river of golden light. Say, I let go. I flow. I am renewed. Allow yourself to be carried. Beloved seeker, you do not need to force healing. The river already knows where to flow. You only need to trust, to release, to stop clinging to the stones of the past. Renewal comes not from effort, but from surrender. The scroll whispers, "Do not fear the current. It does not drown, it carries you home." Chapter 10. The Code of Inner Freedom. All the teachings, all the practices, all the journeys of this manuscript lead here, the Code of Inner Freedom. Freedom is not the absence of pain, nor the possession of wealth, nor the perfection of the body. Freedom is the remembrance of your wholeness, the unshakable truth that nothing outside can imprison what you are within. The scroll teaches, you were never broken. You were only bound by illusions. Inner freedom is not gained, it is remembered. Invisible blockages lose their power when you no longer identify with them. You are not your fear, not your trauma, not your illness. These are experiences, not essence. Like clouds passing across the sky, they may darken the light but cannot extinguish it. The code of freedom is simple. Identify not with the cloud, but with the sky. When you live as the sky, infinite and vast, no storm can bind you. Healing then becomes not only recovery, but liberation, the freedom to live beyond the prison of wounds. The manuscript reveals 4 pillars of this code. Pillar 1, awareness. To see clearly is to dissolve illusion. When you notice your patterns without judgment, they begin to release their grip. Awareness itself is liberation. Pillar 2, acceptance. Resistance is the chain. Acceptance is the key. To accept does not mean to resign, but to embrace what is, so transformation can begin. What you accept softens, what you resist hardens. Pillar 3, expression. Freedom requires voice. To speak truth, to express emotion, to live authentically, these acts shatter invisible prisons. Expression is the soul remembering its wings. Pillar 4, surrender. True freedom is trust. To surrender is to flow with the river, to know that life carries you, that the source is for you, not against you. In surrender, fear dissolves, and only peace remains. Stories illuminate this code. Maria, who lived years chained by shame, believed she was unworthy of love. When she began practicing awareness and acceptance, she saw her shame as a story, not her truth. By speaking her truth and surrendering her past, she found joy again. Or Gabriel, imprisoned by illness, discovered inner freedom when he stopped fighting his body and began honoring it. His peace grew deeper than his pain, and though healing came, it was his freedom that mattered most. The manuscript offers a final practice of inner freedom, the golden breath. Sit in silence. Inhale, saying within, I am free to feel. Exhale, I am free to release. Inhale, I am free to live. Exhale, I am free to love. Repeat until the words are not mantra, but truth, until your whole being vibrates with freedom. Beloved seeker, the code is not outside, not hidden in stone or paper. It is written in your soul. You are not the wound, you are the healer. You are not the prison, you are the freedom. The scroll closes with its final blessing. Freedom is not given by the world, it is remembered by the soul. Live it, and you will never be bound again. Epilogue, the eternal healer within. Every scroll must close, every book must end, but healing is eternal. This is the truth of the eternal healer within. The manuscript now returns to silence, yet its wisdom lives in you, waiting to be practiced, remembered, embodied. The scroll whispers, you sought the healer in temples, in medicines, in words, but the healer has always looked through your eyes, breathed through your lungs, spoken through your heart. You are both patient and physician, wound and medicine, question and answer. The eternal healer within never leaves, never sleeps, never fails. Imagine a flame deep within your chest. Even when storms rage, even when winds howl, this flame never dies. At times, it may flicker low, hidden beneath ash, but with a single breath of awareness, it rises again. This flame is your healer. It does not need permission from the world. It does not wait for perfect circumstances. It burns quietly, endlessly, reminding you that your essence is wholeness. The body may falter, emotions may shake, life may wound, but the flame remains untouched. Healing is not something you gain, it is something you return to. The eternal healer speaks through intuition, dreams, and silence. When you pause, you hear it whisper, forgive, release, breathe, trust. It does not command, it invites. It does not punish, it guides. Its voice is gentle yet steady, reminding you of who you are. When you follow its guidance, your life aligns, not always free from pain, but always free from despair. For with the healer awakened, even suffering becomes sacred, even wounds become gateways. The final gift of the manuscript is not another technique, but a remembrance. You already are the medicine you seek. Herbs, rituals, science, and teachers are rivers, but the spring is within. All external healing is a mirror reflecting the eternal healer inside. When you trust this, you walk differently, lighter, freer, radiant. You know that no illness can steal your essence, no trauma can erase your truth, no fear can silence your soul. The eternal healer shines through it all. The scroll closes with its final blessing. Beloved seeker, remember, you are whole, you are radiant, you are eternal. Trust the healer within, and you will never be lost again. And with these words, the lost manuscript is no longer lost. It lives in you. Every breath is a page, every heartbeat a verse, every act of love a continuation of this book. You are not at the end. You're at the beginning of a life lived in freedom, abundance, and wholeness.